What's going on, good people of the Retroactive football family, specifically Retroactive Yellow? It is your boy, your commissioner, BRENNON, here with the first ever specific Retroactive Yellow review, the Ray review. All right, um, coming to you from my daddy crib. I'm looking at Jalen Carter celebrate after the Saints game. I don't know what he had going on. I guess he was getting ready to fight somebody. But yeah, first ever. As I mentioned, if you are in rap, you already heard this spiel. But for those who are uniquely in Retroactive Yellow and no other Retroactive leagues, welcome, first of all. Thank you for participating. I hope this has been fun for you through 3 weeks. As I mentioned in the rap recap, my bad, right? I apologize for the delay on doing this, getting this together. It's been a lot going on for those who aren't familiar. I'm back in school, doing graduate school. I've been out of college for 12 years, so that's its own adjustment. Work, marriage, family, navigating a lot of transition this year. So between the draft and today, brain just been spinning. I've also never been in 4 leagues simultaneously before, at least not 4 IDP leagues. One of them a keeper league, and commissioning 3 leagues at the same time as well. It's just been a lot, right? So I apologize, but my intention has been to do reviews and recaps like this on a weekly basis for each individual league, post them in the Discord as well as on Facebook, and also do a live on Facebook on Wednesday evening. So this is my attempt to get back on track with that. I'm just going to be recapping the first 3 weeks of the season here in Ray, and talk about how some of y'all have been performing. You get what I'm saying? So getting right into it. I'm the only undefeated team, though. Excuse me. Right? Oh, I take that back. I'm one of 2 undefeated teams. Shout out to Retroactive Yellow rookie CJ Griffith, Christian Griffith Jr., or I don't know if J is a middle initial. I don't know. But CJ Griffith, also undefeated. The Kenneth Walker. That's a kind of a witty name, but also what? Talk about my boy Sam Bradford. Oh yeah, this is the AI. I don't know if y'all noticed, but like ESPN, maybe y'all don't watch them, but ESPN and NFL Network has really been leaning heavy on the AI with putting together these shows and these programs and the videos on the ESPN app. Like a lot of them are AI generated. Have y'all noticed that? Like it's either just graphics and pictures and then like some, the captions in the graphics, or with NFL Network, they have a whole show where it's literally just AI generated. You can tell by the voice, you can tell by the the context and the syntax of how they communicate. It's just, anyway, I digress. But Kenneth Walker, it's cool. That's a cool name. It's cool. It could have, it's not the Phoenix. It's not nothing like that, but it's cool. Your team's undefeated, so I ain't gonna say too much. Legion of Terror is the division name for CJ's division, named by the defending rap champion, Queen Janine, aka True Assassins, who is second in the division at 2-1. I know that don't sit well with her, but that's gonna get addressed down the road in these interdivision matchups between those two, which Janine was was the one that brought CJ into Retroactive. D Will is tied for second at 2-1, and his wife, Alina Wilson, aka Locked and Loaded, is at the bottom of the division currently after she was in the championship last season, in championship contention. Had a really, really good season in Ray last season. Currently 1-2. Still early. Meanwhile, I'm undefeated in my division. All my other 3 division mates are 1-2. I honestly, being completely honest, and I don't even think I've played any of them. Have we played? I don't think I played any of them. Nope. So I haven't played any of my division mates. I played one. I played Falcoholics this past week. But I'm 2-0 against out of division opponents. So that's not why I'm 3-0. But I'm looking at y'all like, whoever brought y'all in, like, are y'all gonna compete? Or are y'all just hanging out? I mean, I can understand if you like, oh, this is my first year, and I'm figuring out IDP, and I've never played fantasy before, or whatever the excuses are. But my division can't be the worst division in whatever league I'm in. That's just me. Like, I need my division to be competitive. I didn't put these people in my division to suck, right? 4 verts. I think that's James Hale. I got 2 Jameses in my division. I know that. I got 4 verts. James Hale, Hale. I got Falcoholics, which is Abe Corey. I don't want to mispronounce your name. I just see Abe K, so I'm just call you Abe K. AK. I got AK in my division, who I just beat this past week, pretty badly, I might add. And then I got Pac-Man in my division, who is that? James Hopkins. All of them are 1-2. So I don't really know what to say about that, how to feel about that. I'm not the biggest fan of that. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta get that. We gotta have some straightening in the division. I can't be all the way up here and y'all all the way off camera. Like, we can't have that. And y'all don't really, y'all in the chat. Shout out to AK. You done popped out in the chat. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Pac-Man, I think you said something in the chat. James Hale, I don't remember off top what your Discord name is if you've been in the chat. But man, y'all can't, like, be kind of mid or lower tier in the actual fantasy performance and answer from the chat. Like, that's not gonna work for me, dog. Not in my division. And I'm just now seeing this because I haven't, like I said, my time has been split all over. So I didn't know my division was that trash. I don't even have to look at the other division records. I just know that that's the worst division. That's not gonna work, dog. That's not gonna work. And I don't know who I play this week. Who I play? I play Blood Hunters again. So something else that was brought to my attention, I think last week. If you haven't noticed, you're probably playing, if you are playing out of division opponents twice in the regular season, it's probably because in my effort to fill out the league with people who say they're in and they ain't in, didn't pay their money on time and then quit or disappear, whatever, I made the mistake through the ESPN app on my phone of deleting teams from the league as opposed to just removing owners. So historically, I would remove an owner, or I would move an owner from one team to another team, or I would move an owner's team from one division to another division. I would just move teams and owners. But this season, as I didn't realize it until it was after the fact, because I normally don't do a lot of stuff on my ESPN app on my phone, I started deleting owners. If I, like, the owner, didn't pay on time or quit or whatever, instead of just removing the owner, I deleted the team. And I think once you delete a team and re-add a team, it messes up the schedule that ESPN has in their algorithm and how they put that together. So that's probably why you're playing out of division opponents more than once, or you might only be playing your division opponents one time. So I apologize for that. It got caught kind of late. So the schedule is what it is. Just beat the opponent that's in front of you. That's the end result of that message. All right. Um, moving right along, the Wreck, my division's Legacy, not playing like Legacy so far. Meanwhile, the Wreck has two 2-1 owners tied for first place. Cortez Jackson, three-time rap champion. Black Rob, who was in contention for the Ray Championship last season before a unexpected loss. Both of them are 2-1. Black Rob Taylor, the Kava Kava Cool Cats. Negus in Paradise is 1-2. NIP, Nip, I mentioned in rap, Nip, Nipsey Hussle, Negus in Paradise. I seen the vision. I get it. He's 1-2. And a quiet Juan, MIA. And I'm not even gonna say that name. Kevin Sunshine, Kevin Knopf. He is 0-3 in the Rec division. But you figure out what his team name is and you say it. I'm not gonna say it. And finally, the Kingdom, comprised of 4 newer owners and also probably the brightest division in Ray, if you catch my drift. Harrison Decker, Quentin, what's your last name? Gibbs, Marcos Camacho, and Douglas Stewart. Phenomenal One, Barrio Quintito, M6, and Blood Hunters, respectively. Harrison and Quentin are battling it out for first place in the Kingdom division at 2-1. M6 is 1-2, and the Blood Hunters are 0-3, about to be 0-4. I'm about to spank that ass again this week. Thank you very much. All right, getting into the scores from week 1 to week 3. I'm just going to do quick recaps. In future weeks, as I do the week recap for just that week, I'm definitely going to get more into detail with individual players and their scores and their contributions to team victories and losses, and just talk more about it like that. But for the sake of time and catching up right now, we're just going to go through trends, team performances, scores, and I might touch on some players as necessary. Week 1, I got my dub on the heels of a wonderful performance, splendid performance from Saquon Barkley, 34.2 points. The Phoenix rose. I don't know. I messed it up. But 231 to 193 against the Blood Hunters, who I'm going to beat again this week, to give them their first of 3 losses, my first of 3 wins. Logan Wilson also went for 24 points. And he had Lamar Jackson give him 29 points. Mac Wilson went for 21. I don't think he's done much of anything since then. He had 15 points this past week off a sack. So, I don't know what's going on with him. He was supposed to be better than what he's been in the NFL in real life. Fantasy, he's usually just kind of a afterthought. But, that was my win there. Black Rob popped out with the same momentum he finished last season in Ray with, 275 to 198. Spanked James Hale, a.k.a. 4 Verts. Almost got the 100 ball. Jaden Reed went for 38 points that game. And it definitely looked like that's going to be Jordan Love's favorite target, even though Christian Watson is back healthy. Romeo Dobbs seems to have taken a back seat to both of them. And then you still got Dontavion Wicks waiting in the wings for his opportunity to show what he's worth. So that wide receiver core in Green Bay is loaded. Rob managed to get Josh Allen in Ray. So kudos to you for that. Not the same in rap. Your fault. 34.18 points from Josh Allen, and Eric Kendricks also went for 30 points even at linebacker. So 3 30-point performances and maybe another one. I don't know. I'm just looking at the quick recap here to give Black Rob a quality score out the gates week 1 in Ray. Meanwhile, Ted's got his win, his opening win in Ray, 235 to 184 against Juan, on the heels of a great performance from Isaiah Likely, who has been quiet ever since week 1, relatively speaking, for the tight end position. D. Will got his first win 236 to 190 against Pac-Man. The True Assassins, in what I would consider a big upset, took the L by 60 points to Locked and Loaded, aka Alina. A 60-point loss for Janine, even though Tyreek got almost 30 points. Just not enough from the rest of the roster. Alina continued her tear from last season as well, but as I'm looking at the record, there've been some fall off since week 1. So I'm gonna see what that's all about. Harrison got a relatively close win against Abe. I don't think he brought Abe in. Nah, he didn't bring Abe in. 238 to 227, the phenomenal one over the Falcoholics. Barrio Quintito got his first of 2 wins, 232 to 192 against Kevin Knopf. And Kenneth Walker got the first of his 3 wins against M6, 239 to 196. That was the game that Anthony Richardson went off. So I might need to holler at you, Marcos, because I have Anthony Richardson in Navy in the no trade league, and I can't trade him. I definitely want to get him off my roster. I should have known better. I fell into the trap of believing the hype, and I drafted him in the no trade league, which of all the leagues that I would get a quarterback that volatile, I don't know why I did it in that league. Like I said, I think I was just burnt out of drafts and fantasy research and whatever and everything else going on. But I see you got him in a league where you can trade him. So, ipso facto, you need a quarterback. I need some other pieces. We should talk. Because that was the best performance Anthony Richardson had, which was week 1, 36 points. He ain't did nothing since then. And he probably ain't going to do nothing. Because he can't throw. All right? Everybody was hyping him up like, oh my God, he's going to be top 3 quarterback in fantasy. He's going to be one of the MVP. Whoa. This is the same quarterback we was talking about bad before the NFL draft, right? That we said had no accuracy. He had like a 50-something% completion percentage in college, where defensive backs are about to be like lawyers and like businessmen, not NFL corners, and you still only complete like 50% of your passes, and you're going to have a better completion percentage in the NFL. As we can see, once defenses get a chance to watch the film and figure out what you do well, he's struggling. And he's probably going to continue to struggle. Not because he doesn't have the talent around him. He has a pretty good receiving core. Has top 5 running back in the league. Top 10. I would say top 5. Pure running back, taking away the receiving prowess. Top 5 running back in the league in Jonathan Taylor. He has all the pieces he needs. He has a really good offensive line. He has a really, really good defense. He got to be able to throw the ball. But I digress. So holla at me, Marcos, if you want to make a deal, because that's not good for your energy on your roster right now. You're 1-2, and it's not going to get better, at least from the quarterback position. So I hope you're not trusting that. I don't know who else you got on the roster, but I know that's not it. Week 2. See what the notes is on this. Pull up, cuz. Really? Come on, laptop. And my signal just went out on my laptop. Come on, man. These are the times we always want. All right. Oh, you got Baker Mayfield. So you straight. Top 10 quarterback in fantasy. And in real life. Never mind. You good then. Because I was about to say, I had Sam Darnold for you. I got Geno for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, watch this. I got what you need. But you don't need it. So you straight. Week 2. Not this past week, but the previous week. I don't know why my internet just went out of nowhere. I got my second dub. Pretty quality win against what I've seen to be a quality opponent in Harrison Decker, also first year in rap. So that's saying something for those who are new to RetroActive and you've never tasted any participation in RetroActive Purple. You know what I'm saying? then that's what you should be aspiring to do. Harrison can vouch for it. It's not sweet over there, right? This is kind of getting your feet wet. This is getting you acclimated to the retroactive way, how we do things, and what the level of competition is. But once you get the rap, it's like we ain't gonna be playing with y'all like that, right? You know what I mean? So for Harrison to get invited to rap, that's no small feat. That's respect. Nevertheless, I had to spank him. All right. Sorry, bro. It's not personal. It's just business. 261 to 234. My linebacking core went crazy that week. Robert Spillane went for 28. Micah McFadden went for 27. Everybody gave up on him. And then I had Gino give me 24. Let me go ahead and put this on mute. Y'all still making moves on the wire. I need y'all to stop that. I know I got another cash out. For Verts, the one win that he has this season was a 283 to 241 victory against a very quality opponent, a 3-time champion in Cortez Jackson. The Wyatt 6 took the L to 4 Verts. So 4 is greater than 6 in week 2. 283 to 241 for James Hale. That was on the heels of Alvin Kamara going for 50. Excuse me. And DK Metcalf went for 30. So 80 points came from 2 players. Take that away, your team probably it looks like your team didn't really do that well. You know what I mean? So that makes more sense now. You had 2 guys give you 80 points and you put up 280 points. Not saying you take that 80 all the way away, but Kamara comes back down to his 15, 20, maybe 25. DK comes back to his 10 to 20. And you at a 240. You might have lost that matchup with their normal scores. So the rest of your team, judging by your record, has to support what your star players do. Worked for you this week in week 2, but it doesn't look like it worked for you in week 1 or 3. Kava Cool Cats, KKKC got the win 246 to 229 against Negus in Paradise. James Cook went stupid. I did not give James Cook the attention that I should have given him before the draft. I was nervous about the offense in Buffalo because of the loss of all the receivers. I didn't think they were going to be so heavy on the run as what they are. I'm glad that they are, but I just didn't think that Joe Brady would commit. I thought they was going to try to make it about Josh Allen and just make him further and further into Superman, even though he had less and less receiving talent. But I'm very, very grateful and appreciative for the offensive coordinator, Joe Brady in Buffalo, and what they've committed to doing by running the ball. The best thing you could do to help out a really good quarterback is establish a really good running game. So the quarterback does not have to be Superman. He can be, but he doesn't have to be. And that's why the Bills are looking how they've been looking. They look great right now on offense. And then the defense gets to just feast off of that. And that's premised on James Cook running the rock. He gave Black Rob 30 points in week 2. And he's going to be competing for the top running back spot in fantasy this season, I believe. Because he also can catch the ball out the backfield like crazy. He is definitely Dalvin Cook's little brother. I mean, skill set, quick twitch, versatility. I love watching him run. So, lucky you for getting him. Especially to pair him up with Josh Allen to get that stat. True Assassins got the win 226 to 221 over D Will's Chicago Wendy's. To give D Will his only L. 5-point victory. Looked like it was a close matchup. Pac-Man got the dub. His only win against Locked and Loaded in a down week. Still a quality score. An average score. Pretty decent score from James Hopkins. 232 to 179. 2020 gave him 29 points to lead Pac-Man 34. Falcoholics in the low-scoring affair got the win 211 to 202 against the Blood Hunters. M6 got the dub 262 to 199. Really, really good score for his only win thus far. That was when Aiden Hutchinson went crazy with 31 points. Who was they playing against? The Rams. No, Tampa Bay. I think he had 4 sacks. How many sacks did he have? He had 5 sacks in that game? Okay, he had to have some half sacks. I think he had 3 solos and then 2 half sacks. 5 shows up as 5 sacks on the thing. Well, maybe he had 4. No, he had 4 solo sacks and then 2 half sacks. Either way, he was going crazy against Tampa. So great performance there. And just a really bad performance from Kevin. Now, Kevin, what you got me nervous about, as I vouch for you, bro, you said you did IDP before when I ran into you at the Raceway back in July. You said you did IDP before. You was talking a little bit of trash. You had your chest puffed out like, oh, you know what I mean? I'm pretty good at this. I can do this. I'm like, okay, then come on through. I'm going to put you in the developmental league to see, how you do and see how you acclimate. You're 0-3, man, with a 199 in week 2. So we're going to have to see some get right. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you made a roster move in week 1 after week 1 that had me nervous. I'm not saying that Josh Hines Allen is going to have a season this season like he had last season. However, Josh Hines Allen, and this is as a fan of his, as somebody who owned, his services last season in fantasy, was the number 5 defensive end in ESPN Fantasy Football last season in our scoring metrics. He finished top 5. You dropped him after 1 week. He wasn't hurt. He didn't get benched. There was no reason to drop him. You was just like, get rid of him. And then you went and got a guy from Chicago who had 1 good game 1 week that nobody really knew or ever heard of before, in Darrell Taylor. And since that week where Darrell Taylor had 25 points, he only has 4 points in 2 weeks. And if I hadn't stepped in as a commissioner to correct that, you would have let a top 5 last season defensive end hit the market and get picked up for free, basically, which he did. And then I had to have a tough conversation with the owner that got him, who was frustrated that player was even made available. Those kind of mistakes don't really happen over here. So we're going to have to figure that out, man. I might have to holler, I'm going to have to have you step into my office so we can get that straight. But between that mistake and then the mistake of starting 0-3, like, we're gonna have to figure something out. All right. Kenneth Walker got a 307, the only 300 in Ray thus far, to get his second win of the year against Barrio Quintito, who put up a 220. All right, that was the week that Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison created magic, and CJ happens to have both of those players on his roster, who gave him a combined 70 points between the two of them. And then Jermaine Pratt went for 29.5. Another player that I kept seeing on my draft boards and all of my fantasy drafts, and I looked at and I said, well, I got Logan Wilson. I don't know if I should get Jermaine Pratt. And in hindsight, why not? Just because you got 2 linebackers on the same team doesn't mean both of them can't put up top 20, top 10, top 5 numbers. It's happened historically, and it's currently happening now. And I feel stupid because in every draft I got Logan Wilson and I did not get Jermaine Pratt. I intentionally watched him and went elsewhere because I'm like, I just don't know if he's going to do what he did in previous seasons, even though I owned him in previous seasons. So kudos to you for getting Jermaine Pratt, CJ. Week 3. Good job, laptop. Got my win over Falcoholics, 257 to 230. It was actually pretty close up until the Monday night games. Saquon gave me 38.6 points, but I needed some performances in the late games Sunday and the Monday night games to put me over the top in this matchup. Actually, not a horrible performance. Pretty good score from AK. Just not good enough. So you got to make some more progress, bro. Don't be afraid to trade, y'all. I created Discord not just for trash talk, but y'all can have conversations in the Discord DMs or in the trade block thread that I created about whatever trades you're considering, thinking about, whatever players you're needing. Put it out there. Put it out to the chat. Let us know. So we know how to help you, how to support you, how to make your team better. And we make each other better. All right? Use the Discord. Juan got his first win, Negus in Paradise. Over 4 verts, 224 to 213. Not very impressive win, but a win is a win. In a historical rivalry matchup, probably the best rivalry in the history of RetroActive. Tez got the win in this matchup. Both of them were, Tez was 1-1. Black Rob was 2-0. And Tez knocked Black Rob out of the undefeated ranks with a 245 to 209 victory. Both of them now 2-1. The Wyatt 6 over Kava Kava Cool Cats. Even though Josh Allen went crazy, a lot of other guys didn't show up for Black Rob just from looking at the score compared to the top 3 scorers. Josh Allen had 38, James Cook had 16, and Eric Kendricks had 17. But the team as a whole only put up 209, so you had to have some other guys not show up. In the marital matchup, D-Will took the win. Shout out to the fellas. Shout out to the husbands. D-Will got the dub 179 to 163. It was a very low scoring affair, but a win is a win. Shout out to you, D-Will, for getting the dub for the fellas, cuz. That's right. Chicago Wendy's over Locked and Loaded. The True Assassins beat up on Pac-Man 34, 218 to 163. Phenomenal One got the dub against his protege, Blood Hunters, 263 to 229. Really good scores from you, Harrison. Scary scores. I don't like them. Too high. CJ completed his continued his undefeated streak with his win. Kenneth Walker got the win over Kevin Knopf, 236 to 227. And in the early morning West Coast game that nobody cares about, Barrio Quintito got the win, 232 to 206 over his protege, 206 from M6. So that's it. Like I said, in future weeks, definitely going to be more in depth with the detail. Going to talk more about the different players and their contributions, huge contributions. Going to talk about how they perform and ways that they show up that are just crazy ways. There's ways that you've never seen before. Just abundance of ways. I have concepts of a plan that we're going to just really talk about all the things that are going on with RetroActive Yellow. All right? We're going to have some fun. I'm still going to do these videos. Definitely not going to be a half hour. Probably 15 minutes at that. Maybe 20. Talking about the different intricacies of the matchups, trends, player performances, all that stuff. And then Wednesday evenings, going to do lives. Okay? With that being said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, confusions, doubts, fears, prayer requests, any comments or any things that you want to share with me, ask me about, or get clarified with me, hit me in the Discord DM, number 1. Just DM me on Discord. Or if you're on Facebook, hit me on Facebook Messenger. Whichever one works best. If you do happen to have my personal phone number, calls and texts on my personal line are for personal conversations. Anything fantasy football related, please keep it to the Discord. Please keep it to Facebook Messenger. All right? I appreciate y'all for being in RetroActive Yellow. To all the veterans, to all the rookies, to everyone in between. I love y'all. Hope y'all having a good week, a good month, a good season so far. Everything's going well. I hope everything's going well with you and yours. I'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.